welcome you back to Tegucigalpa and the National Stadium in Honduras. The Concacaf Under-20 Championship rolls on. The U.S. and St. Kitts and Nevis have already played. Now it's Cuba and Canada under the bright lights of the National Stadium in Honduras. Mike Watts on hand, happy to welcome you along for the concluding of the opening match day in Group E. Temperatures have fallen into the low 70s. There is still a chance of rain in the forecast, although the cloud cover looks promising here in the mountainous terrain around Tegucigalpa. Here's a look at Group A, and that goal difference is gaudy. Yes, the United States outscore St. Kitts and Nevis 10 goals to 0 in the opener. Canada and Cuba will try and keep pace minimum in points. Who knows, perhaps also in goal difference as this match day rolls on. Let's give you a bit of a reminder of why this match matters. The top 3 teams in the group will find their way into the knockout stage, joining the 4 teams that qualified through the previous structure in Groups A through D. 3 matches over 5 days. You'll face every team in the group. Top 3 move on. Once you get into the round of 16, you're going to try and whittle your way to the quarterfinals, where the next ticket will be for the 2023 Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. If you reach the semifinal, you have a chance to play for a chance to go to Paris for 2024's Summer Olympic Games. And if you ultimately reach the final, you've achieved both the Under-20 World Cup qualifying, the Olympic qualifying aspects of the tournament. Then you just try to win the trophy at the end of the road. For Cuba, it's their 14th appearance. They were runners-up in 1970 and 1974. Canada have been champions in this tournament now twice. It's their 24th appearance, which marks the 3rd most of any country in the tournament. They won it in 1986 and 1996. Now they'll try and make a run here after a strugglesome run last time in 2018. It should be a pretty thrilling match. Ultimately, if you're Canada, you want to keep pace with the United States heading into that thriller that's due in 2 days. If you're Cuba, if you get points here, you have a chance to essentially punch your ticket into the knockout stage with a win next time out against St. Kitts and Nevis. So plenty on the line. They'll play the Concacaf anthem as the 2 teams make their way onto the field here in Honduras. Set to be followed by the anthems of Canada and Cuba. Enjoy the festivities as we continue the Concacaf Under-20 Championship in Tegucigalpa.
Damas y caballeros, por favor ponerse de pie. A continuación, los himnos nacionales. Con ustedes, el himno de Cuba. A continuación, el himno de Canadá.
So those are the festivities pregame. The Under-20 Concacaf Men's Championship rolls on. Here's the lineup that Yunelis Castillo sends out for Cuba. All eyes on their captain, who plays for Inter Miami too, Darian Reyes. Ismael Morgado starts in goal for the side. 10 of the 11 starters featured in the Cuban First Division or for academy sides associated within that division. Cuba trying to get off to a good start here and potentially reach their second Under-20 World Cup recently in 2013. Said Martinez of Honduras will oversee the match. Jamaican Danian Parchment is the fourth official. Kerr Wilson will work one touch line, and Shirley Perello on the other. Awaiting the captain, Justin Smith, who's playing with Nice in France for Canada.
Con el número 6, Mateo Campaigna. Con el número 10, Matthew Catabolo. Con el número 14, Gabriel Pellegrino. Con el número 16,
who enters into the fray.
Con el número 17,
exchange of pennants.
Hugo Mbongue.
Flip of the coin as we approach kickoff here under the lights in Tegucigalpa. The stadium holds over 30,000 fans. It'll be a tremendous host in the group stage and the early stages of the knockout. Fernando Guerrero of Mexico will handle VAR. Melissa Borjas of Honduras, his assistant. VAR was prominent in the opening game of the tournament. We'll see if it continues that way. Mauro Biello of Canada sending out this lineup. And it's a group with plenty of experience, not only playing for the Canadian MLS sides and CPL sides, but also overseas. You'll see Bristol City, Lazio, Freiburg, Wolfsburg, all represented in the starting 11. Ismael Morgado likely to have a busy day. Canada has something to say about it. There's Ben Alexander, who's been a regular in the MLS Next Pro side for Vancouver. Could a champion come from Group E? Is it possible it's not a repeat champion 3 times over? Canada's proven at the senior level they are to be feared in CONCACAF. Cuba in this tournament has a rich history. 90 minutes to see who can get the upper hand in Group E alongside the United States on the opening match day of 3 here in Tegucigalpa. Said Martinez will do the honors. Here we go in Tegucigalpa. It is Canada with the first touch in white, Cuba in red. Enjoy the match. CONCACAF Under-20 Championship Match Day 1 begins for these 2 tournament hopefuls. Cuba taking possession early on. Pull back Morgado. Hold across Campagna. Smith playing that holding midfield role in front of a back 4. Option wide, just kind of below, never got there through Henry. They featured in the 2019 CONCACAF Under-17s. This tournament, the Under-20s returning after a 3-year hiatus. 2020 edition canceled due to the pandemic. Back through 9 Labelle. Justin Smith brought down. Although Noda gets an early talking to from the referee. This is a home game for most of this Honduras-based officiating crew. Caña. And back through Alexander. Poku. Good touch around for the Forge FC player. Among the call-ups for the lead up to this tournament for the Canadian under-20s. 2 games in April against Costa Rica, won 1, lost 1. The first matches were played in Alajuela, home of the Giant, Alajuelense. Biello looks on. Look at Reyes. Trying to slither his way through. Biello, the 49-year-old former Canadian national team forward. He's the head coach from Montreal, 3 seasons, then transitioned into the national team as an assistant coach. Now leads the under-20s. Poku. Good intervention in Yalver. Poku leading to Smith. Through, flag is down. Costa. This is an odd venue. You can see behind the goal. Those are the tunnels that the players come out of. San Pedro Sula there behind the bench, the second venue in this tournament. Palma. Ardella. The ball handled that admirably. Cadavolo searching that same right flank. Ball was kept in by Cuba. Reyes. Kevin Martin. Taken from Reyes. Recovered through Noda. Poku did well to keep that. Cadavolo. squad made up of 5 players from Montreal's either senior team or academy, the under-23s primarily, 3 from Vancouver, a pair from TFC. Handful more from the CPL, some with experience around those MLS academies. There's 6 players for the Canucks that come from overseas clubs, including the majority of them in the starting 11 here at the outset. Smith trying to work off a Botnay. Botnay up top, covered by Morgado. Teo Campagna. Smith will split the center backs. Chaos here for Cuba. Bongwe chasing after. Good turn off that by Pellegrino. Advantage played through Poku. Cannavolo. Got that through early. Corner Canada inside 10 minutes. Cannavolo. Caught by Morgado. Sancti Spiritus Football Club in Cuba. Player from that team to feature in this Cuban under-20. Henry. Cannavolo. Put that across early. Bongwe was there. Cuba read it well. Good step by Smith. Back by Smith. Possession has been almost entirely on Canada's terms to this point, as one would expect from a side that just continues to impress on the international stage. From a long way out, that's not going to test the goalkeeper whatsoever. Direct here from Cuba. Nobody there. Nearly bounced through for Paradella. Cadavolo cuts inside, aimed for the back post. Cuba quells that nicely enough. Paradella. Poku.
Si el balón ya se fue pegado.
Look at that challenge in. A bit unnecessary. Thrust upfield, Palma. Through rolls all the way on to Morgado. Quarter hour gone in Tegucigalpa. Much to show yet. Now the goalkeeper's been tested. Torres. Threads through well. And LaBelle. Smith. Split through. Reyes isolates. Sends further denied. Paradella couldn't sneak it through. And a stoppage and a player grabbing for his head. It's going to be a card coming back. high boot. Calavolo has gone into the book. Biello gets the whole group together here. Calavolo showing yellow a moment ago. Well, the Canadians look good. They've handled the majority of the possession to this point. Allowed Justin Smith to sort of regulate some of that possession. Haven't gotten a lot from Bangwe yet. Cuba, for all the possession Canada's had, you can't really pick out any one opportunity that didn't sweat yet. To their immense credit. Palma curls dangerously. Comes back to Reyes. Maybe room to swing a shot through. Wasn't there for Fernandez. And that'll loft over. Early test Ben Alexander. Under 23s for Canada qualified for the Olympics. They did qualify in 1984, 1976. Won a gold medal in 1904, although that was obviously a different time for the Olympic Games. Ball lobbed across. Calavolo trying to make sure that's not a corner. Hoping to have this under 20 side bring them back to Olympic glory in Paris. First time the country would have qualified on the men's side since 1984. Women's side, now the Canadians have no problem finding medals at the Olympics. Corner here for Cuba, bouncing all the way through dangerously enough. Comes out for a half-hearted swing by Torres. Canada on the run through Henry. And all the way through to Calavolo on the opposite end. Another good run forward for Canada. Bangwe was making that central run, taken back by the Cubans. Bustling through, well done by Knight Lavelle. Woke up Kevin Martin's run. We approach the midway point in the first half in this opening group stage match for Canada and Cuba. What a fighting effort from Cuba to win the throw in the first place. Cross scuffs through. Cannavolo will chase that. Back out through Palma. Oh, good run. Hernandez. Hernandez! Swung it wide of Alexander's goal. Midway point of the first half, a reminder as to what this match means within the context of the larger tournament. This is Group B. The winner of this group, Canada, Cuba, the United States, and St. Kitts and Nevis will go on to face Nicaragua on June 25th in the round of 16 right here in Tegucigalpa. Second place team in this group will face the third place team in Group G. Keep that in mind for a moment. And the third place group will face the second place team from Group G. So should you get through, you'll face either Nicaragua as the champion of the group, or if you finish second or third, you'll face either Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala, or Aruba in the knockout round. And then you get into the possibilities of how that breaks down at the quarterfinal level. What's the easiest path forward? In theory, it's by winning the group. Unless there's some surprise upsets elsewhere. Bangwe will go the other way. Delgado splays out. Ultimately, the goal to reach the semifinal, which would get you to the Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia 2023. Or reach the final July the 3rd. That'll mean you've punched your ticket to Paris in 2024. Really rare that one tournament can have this level of implication for the future of your young national team players. You can certainly argue the upcoming W Championship in Concacaf is going to have a similar potential tectonic shift. Sprinting through Palma. Pardella's out there. Swung that through. For the Concacaf W Championship at the senior level, one tournament, one 15-day stretch is going to decide qualifying for the 2023 FIFA World Cup and the 2024 Summer Olympics in France. That is a staggering level of importance put on one tournament. Morgado unafraid to leave his penalty area, handled that well. Champion of that W Championship will head to the Summer Olympics. The second place team go to the Interconfederational Playoff. The top 4 teams in the semifinalists are going to the World Cup. Well taken by Torres. Volo. Poku. Campagna. Out the other side, Botne. Diddley in 2017, a Toronto native who's featuring Lazio under 18s. 19 games with them this year. The 17-year-old left back who's playing on the right here on this occasion. Turned over to Cuba, unenviable territory. Reyes turning, Paradella, easy for Alexander. Cuba's starting to really make Canada a bit uncomfortable here. Their men's credit. Palma. Alexander comes out and claims it. It's the third game of the tournament, second in this group. The U.S. dispatching of St. Kitts and Nevis 10 goals to 0 here in Group B. Meanwhile, in Group H, the opening match day in San Pedro Sula. One of the primary venues in the National League, but not the stadium used most often. The Olympic Stadium, Estadio Morazan. Costa Rica and Jamaica. It's gonna fling off target. Jamaica pulled a penalty out in the 8th minute of second half stoppage time to draw with the Ticos, and the Reggae Boys and Costa Rica have opened up Pandora's box in Group H, which features the host Honduras and Antigua and Barbuda. Campagna, Caravolo, angling through Pellegrino, and again Cuba's siphoned this off. Paradella, can he make something more of this? Bongue's gone all the way back here. Kept by Palma. Russell cedes possession back to Canada. The other two groups will kick off tomorrow. Here in Tegucigalpa, you'll see El Salvador and Guatemala, Panama and Aruba. These are the corresponding groups within this corner of the bracket, so to speak, this half of the bracket. And then over in San Pedro Sula, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname, and Mexico. 20 teams in this tournament. Only 16 have to feature in this group stage. 4 have already gone through groups of their own. Smith is down. Referee assures that Smith is able to continue. Has feet tangled up there, Cuban player. Eduardo Hernandez. Calvolo is there off the deflection. Costa and Mbangwe, and now Henry all joining. Smith trying to battle through. Ball's clipped away, and now a whistle against Cuba. Darian Reyes there, called in for World Cup qualifying in the early rounds by Cuba. Part of the Inter Miami Academy dating to 2019 when they first got off the ground. Now playing in their MLS Next Pro side. He's already scored as a senior international. All right, handful of players capped at the senior level featuring in this tournament. Oh, a clever little run, broken down before it found Reyes. Down goes Abadne. It's going to stay in for Pellegrino. And Peñalver goes down.
¿Quién aparece? ¿Quién aparece? Seguro, seguro.
Reyes racing upfield. Palma turns the corner, cut back ball, falls in front. Smith collects. I'm not sure Jose Paradella knew anything about that because it went right across his face. Canada's been just a little lackadaisical on some of those balls from Cuba, where it's inches beyond one player and it just rolls across the six for just a little too long. Cuba hasn't been able to make them pay for it. They haven't been able to get enough numbers high enough up the field to really put them to the sword for it. This service from wide areas has had its moments. That time it's floated over too far. And watch out, because here comes Palma again. Good call by Alexander. Working it forward, slammed away by Jamie Knight-Liddell. Morning Canada playing for Bristol City. Poku. Cadavolo dangerously running across. Whacked out by Jesse Costa. Quickly taken here for Cuba. They've got trailing runners. And it feels a bit wasted the moment. Martin curling at Alexander. Cadavolo groan. He knew he wasn't going to get there. There's a lot of contact there, and the referee is going to have to contemplate a yellow card. Here it comes. That's unfortunate for Botnet. If you're going to whistle that, it has to be a yellow card. Truth of the matter, it might have been wrong place, wrong time. Was that contact? Like he was just trying to cut out in front at a Botnet. First player carded since Cadavolo shortly before the injury stoppage in the first 20 minutes. Both cards in this game belong to Canada. Lest we forget, Cuba defeated Canada in this tournament. I don't know how long ago. Don't doubt that Cuba was going to be a thorn in Canada's side. All line forward. And now maybe Canada can run. Can they run? Costa. Recovery by Cuba. Canada had 2 losses in the 2018 under-20s. Fell to St. Kitts and Nevis 2-1. It'll be their final group stage game here. And look, every team in theory has some margin for error. 3 of the 4 teams are going through. Played long, snapped up here on Morgado.
En el minuto número 37 de partido.
Dangerous back pass, rounding the goalkeeper. Cuba scores. Cuba opens the scoring. Kevin Martin. Could there be an upset in Tegucigalpa? There have just been some lackadaisical moments in defending And that pass left a bit to be desired. Needed a little more to get to the goalkeeper. Alexander came to meet it, but he didn't ultimately get there. And Kevin Martin opens the scoring for Cuba. And imagine for a moment what a tectonic shift that would be in this group. Lest we forget, Canada faces the United States in 2 days here in Tegucigalpa. There's a chance. By the time we get to the third match day, Cuba and the United States have already qualified for the next round. Suddenly, Canada could be facing down an essential elimination game against a team they lost to in 2018 in this tournament, St. Kitts and Nevis. It seems far-fetched, and yet, if Cuba wins here, suddenly the door is going to be open to that distinct possibility. Struck from a long way out, Alexander swipes at it, but Eduardo Hernandez did not hit the target. 45th minute now. Long way to go before genuine concern sneaks in here for Canada. Still another half to go. Struck from distance, wide of the goal post. And there was no first half stoppage time. Well, maybe Cuba is ready to throw a complete curveball into Group B here in the Concacaf under-20s. And the lights shining brighter on some of these young players than they ever have. A regrettable back pass goes awry for Canada. And Cuba, through Kevin Martin, opens the scoring in the 42nd minute of play. And here at the National Stadium in Tegucigalpa, there could be a genuine upset. It's forming in front of our eyes. An enormous moment in Group B that could prove transcendent. Halftime in Tegucigalpa in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. In Group B, it is Cuba 1, Canada 0.
CONCACAF 2022. Garantiza tu lugar para la Copa del Mundo en Qatar con nuestros increíbles paquetes de viajes. Cómpralos en QatarAirways.com, pleca FIFA 2022. CanMNT es patrocinador orgulloso del Campeonato Sub-20 de CAF 2022, porque el fútbol inspira a niños y transforma futuros. Sigue a CanMNT Fútbol Club en Facebook para conocer más de nuestras iniciativas en torno al fútbol. Patrocinador oficial del Campeonato Masculino Sub-20 de CONCACAF 2022. No te pierdas la acción y las últimas novedades del apasionante campeonato Sub-20 de Concacaf. Todo lo podés encontrar en las redes sociales de Concacaf. Sigue @Concacaf en Twitter y nuestra página de Facebook
This is the Concacaf Under-20 Championship from Group B. Conclusion match day 1. The United States over St. Kitts and Nevis, 10-0. Now Cuba takes the spotlight alongside World Cup qualifying country, Canada. Top 3 teams in this 4-team group will advance to the knockout stage, and with the opening whistle from Said Martinez, on we went here in Tegucigalpa at the National Stadium. There's an early yellow card for that extended boot into the air from Matthew Catavolo. And this ultimately proved to be a game of pragmatic football against beautiful football. Canada moved it around efficiently, effectively. They controlled the tempo of the game. And it was Cuba who actually created far more shooting opportunities. Didn't really do all that much that challenged goalkeeper Ben Alexander too much. They did continue to keep the ball moving in that direction, and quickly when they did. This was the major foible in the back. Ball across from Campagna, and it was just a little slow from Jamie Knight-LaBelle to get this back to Alexander. It is recovered by Kevin Martin. In the 42nd minute of play, Cuba grabs the lead. And for a country that have had fond memories in the under-20s, they grab the lead shortly before halftime, and they create one more chance before the breakthrough to Hernandez. Cuba 1, Canada 0. All right, well, with the floodlights looking down here in Tegucigalpa, the statistics are unique in that Canada has possessed the ball 70% of the game. They've outpassed Cuba 312 to 135. The problem is they've only created 2 shots from it, and it's a Cuban side that managed 9 shots, 3 on
inglés es el más común. Pero dicen,
We welcome you back to Tegucigalpa, where there will be many changes. A quadruple sub, it appears, for a disgruntled Canadian side at halftime. That's Kobe Franklin, who enters, part of Toronto FC 2. Pellegrino and Henry, the first two numbers on the board. That's Rita Zuhir, who's come on. Part of the Morocco under-20s back in March. Now playing with Canada. That's it for Jesse Costa. Wright comes in. More sub to be decided here for the Canadians. And that's going to be Ishan Ferdinand placing Noah Abotne, who's on a yellow card. 4 changes for the Canadians to try and turn around what at the moment is a staggering scoreline. Cuba 1, Canada 0 in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. This is a beautiful Honduras. And this afternoon, the U.S. opening up with a 10-0 win over St. Kitts and Nevis. Reigning champion starting off on the right foot and very much putting their thumbprint on the group. Canada will face the U.S. next. Cuba set to take on St. Kitts and Nevis in 2 days as well. The Canadians will have to figure some things out. Does appear here with 4 changes, may find a number of ways to be creative here. It's floated long downfield. Jamie Knight-Labelle chases it back. See Ferdinand step in defensively. They've kept Campagna on. Appears to be a 3-back here for Canada. Ball lobbed over the top. Goalkeeper comes. Goalkeeper doesn't get enough. There is that a penalty? Well, there's a yellow card coming. It's going to go to Hernandez. Does that contact occur inside the penalty area? Certainly the foul given the newcomer Lowell Wright coming in and immediately creating problems. There is VAR in this tournament. It is in fact a penalty. And now Saeed Martinez, the Honduran referee, will wait for either confirmation through VAR or move forward giving the penalty. And Canada has a chance now to equalize from the spot. Referee gesturing for both teams to move away, and there's the call to go to the monitor, VAR. You do question whether or not that foul occurred inside the box. We have a better view than the referee's going to have in the run of play. So you can see the goalkeeper coming out and jumping from the edge of the penalty area. You can see that line under his feet. This is going to be your best view. Clearly that's outside the area. It's going to be a free kick. Now, whether or not you get into the idea of a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, that's a different discussion. You could argue the initial contact, and the card ultimately went to Eduardo Hernandez. The goalkeeper is coming out to get to the ball, and you also have a player parallel in Romario Torres. So, truth of the matter, there's probably about 3 things you could argue here. Which player deserved the card, because the trailing player is the one who got the yellow card, Hernandez. Whether the penalty was in fact a foul inside or outside the penalty area, that seems obvious. And then whether it's denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. So you've got a number of things to contemplate here. If your referee, Said Martinez, with the assistant of the VAR, the Mexican Fernando Guerrero. VAR was used twice in the opening fixture here in Tegucigalpa. It was a different crew. In both instances, non-fouls became penalties. All right, Said Martinez has made a decision. He's running all the way to the spot, and yeah, you'd think he's gonna gesture, yes, outside the penalty area. The card is not given to number 5, that's correct, and the yellow card is given to the goalkeeper. So Hernandez is out of the book, Morgado is into the book, no penalty, free kick Canada. Get all that? Good. Rita Zuhir stands behind the ball. He's got Poku as well. It will be Zuhir off the wall, bounces aside and skews over the line. A Canadian corner. Well, that is a massive inflection point in the game. This really doesn't look very comfortable at all. Good news is the player is up under his own power.
Damas y caballeros, se informa que la tarjeta amarilla fue mostrada al jugador
Palma back to his feet.
Morgado de Cuba en el minuto número 51.
Corner, Canada. First ball's away. Second ball opens the door for Cuba to attempt the counter. It's effectively cut off. Driven forward, well read by Alejandro Delgado. Another corner for Canada. Well, they're creating more in front of the goal. That's ultimately what Biello had to be hoping for here. It was just sluggish when it met the final third, the Canadian attack. Catavolo will put this in play. They're featured in the Under-17 Concacaf Championship in the Under-17 World Cup. Catavolo rings off of Noda. Canada will do it again. Rita Zuhir runs over. Zuhir, Palma, who's thankfully returned. Catavolo got chopped down. Play continues here for Canada. Inching forward, right. Right just shed a player running through midfield and continued on. Part of that York United side in CPL now a couple of years running. Scored 6 goals for him last year. 18-year-old from Brampton. Team. Zuhir. Franklin. Catavolo. Done by the goalkeeper, Morgado. Let's remind you the circumstances around this game. This is Group E, where this group will face Nicaragua in the round of 16. They qualified through an earlier group stage. If you do get through Group E as the 2nd or 3rd place team, you'll end up facing one of the 2nd or 3rd place teams in Group G. It'll be the 2nd and 3rd place teams of Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Aruba. Knockout stage begins in the round of 16. Once you get to the quarterfinals, you're aiming to reach the semifinal, which would grant you passage into the 2023 Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. If you reach the final, then you're headed to the Olympics as well in Paris in 2024. And of course, every team trying to unseat the twice reigning champ USA. Or should you end up on the other side of the bracket, have a go at the winningest team in the history of the tournament, Mexico. There are a couple of multi-time champions. Mexico, of course, rules the roost. Their last title came in 2015 here in the Concacaf Under-20s. The U.S. have won the 2 most recent editions of the tournament. Honduras has won it twice. They're the host country. Costa Rica and Canada also won it multiple times. El Salvador won it in 1964. They're the only team to raise the trophy just once. And this is a Cuban side that's been runner-up twice. It's a simple turn by Ferdinand. Through midfield, the captain, Smith. Ferdinand. From Quebec, time in Montreal. was loaned out to Atletico Ottawa. Early from Franklin, header off the underside of the bar, didn't go. And now a foul going the other way. And again, right in the middle of things. Canada is getting closer with half an hour to go. Ball over the top. This flag is down. This is Martin. Martin for a second. Failed to put it on Alexander's frame. That could have been a major coffin nail. All right, let's go back the other way. First, the opportunity for Kobe Franklin. And Wright somehow rings the bar as cleanly as he can without putting it in. And then the other end, Kevin Martin, who scored in the 42nd minute, a back pass with malaise. And he intercepted and rounded Alexander. This time, didn't test Alexander at all. Franklin. This Canadian team has some bite now. Bounces off of Wright. Smith through, Bongway is waiting. From the wide area, Wright slipped it ahead. Recovered well, Peñalver. Offside flag had gone up. 63rd minute. Still, Cuba 1, Canada 0. Late game tonight, Honduras, the host country, will take on Antigua and Barbuda. That's at the Estadio Morazan in San Pedro Sula. And that match less than 45 minutes from beginning. Essentially the other side of the bracket as it pertains to the round of 16. Wow. The offside flag came in there and it was clearly incorrect. Referee comes in this time. Again, puts his arm up. Another look at this one. Very, very close. Smith. This has been an improved Canadian side in this second half. They go again down this right side through Franklin. Inverts off the dribble. And he's brought down with Poku inching up the line and a yellow card out. And a Canadian free kick now. Well, this is why you're glad you went back with VAR and had another look at that previous play, because Hernandez had his yellow card rescinded and instead given to the goalkeeper, Morgado. Change coming here. Ray Angel comes in. He plays for La Habana in Cuba. ends the night for Ronaldo Noda. See if the Canadians can create something off the set piece. Leaping up as Mbongwe, handled by Morgado.
Ronaldo Noda ingresa con el número 15, Rey Ángel, en el minuto 64 de partido.
Tips away right to Ferdinand. Cuba continues. Is this the moment, Martin? Kevin Martin is a man on a mission. And this time Alexander able to whittle his way out of it. Ardella. This is Cuba's moment in attack. Left off for Zahir to take. Right. Contained long enough to win a throw for the Canadians. Another change of personnel here. 67th minute. Again, it's Cuba, their second sub. Ronald Sanchez comes in. Jose Paradella comes off. And that's going to be the last change for Canada as well. They made the quadruple sub at halftime. That sub for Canada has paid some dividends, but hasn't ultimately gotten them on the scoreboard yet. Thiago comes on, the 18-year-old Brazilian, and an injured Cuban player. Thiago Coimbra, the fifth and final change here for Canada. Effort toward the back post. A bad idea from Catavolo. That's kept. Coimbra. Referee looks. Offside flag. Denies the potential penalty. Overlapping run arrives. Reyes somehow! And touched wide by Angel. And Cuba racing back, providing cover after again nearly finding the second. Through now, keeper's out, Catavolo denied by Morgado on a yellow card, no less. That had to be perfect, and apparently it was. Ball out. Angel Sanchez. Both came in previously in separate substitutions. Means this should be the end of the changes. There's Roberto Valdez, who's come on. Ball through. Oh my goodness, he's onside. Trottier, no! Well, maybe that's just a very late whistle. But Canada living dangerously at this point. And again taken back by Cuba. Rolled ahead and across, and Martin! Cuba might pay the ultimate price here. They've had opportunities, they're playing with their food now. I mean, it almost defies logic how that got through. All the while, Reyes created well, and wasn't to be for Martin. Meanwhile, referee's out. Referee's shown red. And the goalkeeper is sent off. Ismael Morgado's second yellow card. Oh, this game's had absolutely everything. And it appeared Cuba just used their last window for subs. It's unnecessary. It's well outside the penalty area. He's going away from goal. And for Cuba, that's quite the price to pay. Alejandro Fernandez is most definitely going to be starting the next game here for Cuba. And apparently he's set to enter now. Yeah. No, they're out of windows. They have a fifth sub, but they use 3 windows. All right, here we go. The goal scorer, Kevin Martin, is putting on gloves and the reserve goalkeeper's jersey, and he's gonna play the last 16 minutes and stoppage in goal. This is Well, either really heroic or really unfortunate for Cuba. Yes, we have a field player in goal. And if you're Cuba, the worst part of this by far yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's take a look at the bleachers. You just made a sub a minute earlier. If you had known that was coming, you could have had a chance to get a trained goalkeeper in. And instead, Kevin Martin is about to have the adventure of his life. That's number 17, changing number to number 12. Unreal. The subs for Cuba were used in the 65th, 67th, and 71st. It is a painful reality for Cuba. And now Canada has to pounce. Can they put something on target early? First header's away. Daniel there. Free kick, Cuba. Palma is down. Oh, wow. 14 minutes in stoppage time. All the way down to Alexander. This is where Cuba's lack of possession could be a major problem. It's one thing when Canada is trying to sneak one past a trained goalkeeper. But now they're going to take aim at a goalkeeper who is playing up front for the majority of this game. Franklin is going to come to the backside, bouncing through, seeking the cutback. Injured player down here for Cuba. Header toward goal, and the goalkeeper lets that go by. Ferdinand getting forward, now an injured Cuban player to attend to. Ray Angel, who came on. The athletic trainer is administering a quick test on a potential head injury. That ball got up high and caught Angel in the face. The concussion substitute rule could grant an additional window to Cuba. There's the goalkeeper in his unmitigated glory. Every goalkeeper says they're a goal scorer. This one literally was in the 42nd minute. There is one instance that comes to mind in recent major Concacaf competition of a trained field player featuring in goal. The 2021 Gold Cup preliminary round, St. Vincent and the Grenadines played Haiti with 13 players and no trained goalkeepers. So it's Nigel Charles in goal, dealing with visa issues and COVID issues. They held Haiti scoreless 26 minutes. If you're Cuba, you only need to get another 10 out of this. In theory, you only needed 16 clean minutes. Canada has been swarming. See what they can come up with here. First clearance is decent. That's skied over. This is a galvanized Cuban team. Angling for a look. Played through as far as Sanchez. Jamie Knight-LaBelle. Rolls up Ferdinand, taking off the ball. Collision, Trutiet goes down. Ferdinand grabbing his face. Trutiet remains down as well. Well, both players are still being attended to here. That's drawn blood for the Canadian player. Cuban player, Trutier, comes back upright. Ferdinand remains down. Palmeiras, the 18-year-old native Brazilian, still being looked at. If Cuba wins this game, Group E is thrown into complete chaos. Because if Canada can't rebound against the United States in the second match day, we could have an out-and-out decisive bottom of the group fixture to close it out in Group E between Canada and St. Kitts and Nevis. Or it could be even crazier. St. Kitts and Nevis wins and Cuba finishes this off. We could have multiple teams on 3 points and Canada trying to climb their way back in on the last day. This is a mathematician's absolute nightmare. Play on, both players waiting to return. Smith. Jamie Knight-LaBelle. Sean Ferdinand rolling for Knight-LaBelle, and further now. Driven forward for the Canadians. That is caught. And learning the goalkeeping ways, Kevin Martin. Already a fan of the dark arts. Ferdinand went in. Taken back by Poku. Rita Zuhir. Franklin. Franklin curls back once more. Can Canada get something on goal? Chipped over the top, first header's away. That's, well, further clear, but not entirely done. Trudier, taken back here by Canada. Cross field from Zuhir. Ball through, extended boot up. Torres went down. Coimbra caught him with a high boot. It's been 10 minutes since Kevin Martin, who scored in the 42nd minute, was inserted into goal after Ismael Morgado was sent off. Ball through the A. Could this be this? It won't be that. Cuba has spoiled a number of chances. An injured Cuban player down. So Martin scored in the 42nd minute on a haphazard back pass. He rounded the goalkeeper, Alexander, and put Cuba ahead shortly before halftime. Canada made 4 changes at the intermission. Went to a change of formation, 3 in the back, and started to get some genuine push. This is a no doubt offside call. They allowed that to play out. There is the benefit of VAR. Ultimately, that would roll out for a goal kick regardless, even if the offside flag had not gone up. The Canadians started to get some real pressure on Cuba. They appeared to win a penalty, or at least it was adjudicated on the field. They went to VAR. That was reversed. It was outside the penalty area. And the yellow card at the time went from the center back, Hernandez, to the goalkeeper, Morgado. Morgado then left the penalty area in the 72nd minute, slid in to an attacking Canadian player, gets sent out of the match. Cuba had only used 4 subs, but all 3 windows. So they move their forward back into goal, have him change kits, and here we are. Ball bounces to the backside. Can Canada find their equalizer finally? This teed up from distance. There's contact. The referee looks in. The referee lets play continue. Valdez. And here we are, approaching the 90th minute. Cuba down to 10. Attempting to pull off a stunner to begin Group E in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. And if they do so, they'll move level on points with the United States, and suddenly Canada is going to be in desperate need of a result against the U.S., or they face elimination from the tournament to close out the group against St. Kitts and Nevis, a team they lost to in the 2018 edition of the tournament. Bless CONCACAF. Here comes Canada short of the halfway line. There should be a significant amount of stoppage time. See 5, maybe more minutes, multiple VAR reviews. Numerous subs, including the exchange of goalkeepers. There it is, 7 added minutes.
Damas y caballeros, el cuarto oficial ha indicado que se agregarán por lo menos 7 minutos al tiempo de este partido.
Free kick Cuba, more precious time evaporates. Header goes back to Alexander. Here comes Canada again. Up for right. This will be a Canadian throw. Still 6 minutes left. Canada could turn this entire narrative around. Franklin. It's going to settle him. Why not dribble that out? Trottier over the near touchline. Cuba was pragmatic. They outshot Canada 9-2 in the first half. They were outpossessed 70-30. They created chances. That ball's going to get out. It is a Canadian throw. Zuhair wants it back. The Inter Miami charge, Darian Reyes having words. Tough tackle in from Hernandez. Ball line forward. Ball deflects down. Coimbra to the opposite side and away with Franklin trying to bring it down. Still another 4.5 minutes. Franklin. And still they can't break through. Poku. Right. Kevin Martin was blessed with many skills. Height isn't one of them. Canada has been unable to test this forward-turned goalkeeper mid-game. Deflection out toward the halfway line. Ferdinand won't get there. Valdez will run this all the way down to the other end. He goes down. And Cuba playing with 10. Don't think for a second Canada's going to stop. Ferdinand. Headers up and out, and now the referee will bring play back to the injured player. He's calling for a stretcher with 3 minutes to go. Yeah, a big thumbs up from the athletic trainer saying Roberto Valdez is good to go. Well, right now, Cuba has 9 on the field as they wait for Valdez to be welcomed back in. The throw here for Canada. They have 2 minutes, maybe a little more. Ball floated ahead for Franklin. Goalkeeper left entirely. Got nothing on it. Franklin turns, delivers a decent ball, header away, Hernandez. Skips up, handball. And the player Valdez, who came off a moment ago, is returned. And Cuba racing the other way. Valdez stretching the field, Reyes. Ferdinand. Reyes. Could Cuba get their insurance? They've held the ball in this corner now for 30 seconds. No more, no less than at least 1 more minute. It was an injury. Maybe this stretches beyond 97. This opening game in the group could see Cuba level with the U.S. on points. Driven away by Palma. Is this the moment for Canada? They can't get it over the first line of defense. Hernandez. You can tell what it means to these Cuban players. It's a matter of the referee's discretion now. This is one of the more incomprehensible outcomes. Fernandez went up for it. Rather, Ferdinand. Valdez. There's Valdez on the ball. Ball's out. Apparently there's still time. And that is full time. It's a staggering win for Cuba. Kevin Martin scores the winner. He goes into goal due to a red card in the second half. And they stave off Canada for the shocker of the group stage in the Concacaf Under-20s. Absolute stunner. A massive step toward qualification for the knockout stage. Mauro Biello and Canada can't believe it. They put nothing on Martin in the final 20 minutes. And the man who scored the goal protects the goal down the stretch. And young man, keep that kit. That's yours. What a game here in Honduras. Cuba moves level with the U.S. behind on goal difference, 3 points each. Cuba now in second, Canada in third, St. Kitts and Nevis in fourth. Cuba will take on St. Kitts in 2 days. Canada will see the United States, and they might be fighting for their under-20 championship lives beginning at that time. For our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying so long from a wild game in Tegucigalpa. It finishes Cuba 1, Canada 0.